I just want to call out Bills fan 7883. Yeah, I do eat. It is an episode of hashtag I'm always eating. I weigh 154 pounds. If I stood outside in cotton clothes in a hurricane, I'd weigh 154 pounds. Okay, so homeboy's got to eat. That's it.
I just love how he did the Brad Pitt reference because he's always eating Ocean's 11.
Yeah, he is the whole time.
That's so great.
He is the whole time. I mean, I appreciate the Brad Pitt reference. My wife clearly disagrees. It's okay. For you, buddy.
You're the fattest, skinniest kid I've ever met. We said it was Fan Appreciation Week, and we said submit your questions. Completely overwhelmed with the. I loved it. Loved it. But I'm like, I told Paul, we'll probably get like 5 questions. No, whatever. But love you guys for your commitment to the hashtag, and
to the hashtag.
The hashtag.
It's like the Ohio State.
Yeah.
The hashtag.
Except we don't beat Directional University by 1 point.
Yeah, so we had a ton of submissions. There's going to be a lot of them that we're going to go through. We're going to try and get to as many as we can because there's a ton here. And some of them we're going to make episodes on later down the line. So we're going to get to all of these at some point. But good grief, there was just a ton.
Yeah, some of them are I should say asking me what I'm going to wear in July. I have no idea yet.
So let's get to our very first topic. Louisianna Superdome, the all-drought team for the Bills.
Can I just tell you how much I loved it when I read that?
This is a dangerous topic for us.
And we got to be clear about the parameters, though, because we do include some players that did break the drought, but they were there for the drought for a number of years. Any player that was acquired in this offseason obviously doesn't count. Mm-hmm. So you won't see Micah Hyde. You won't see Poyer. No. You won't see certain guys of that nature on the all-drought team, unfortunately.
Yep.
But what we'll see, it spanned basically from 2016 to 2000 to 2016.
Right.
Is the players that we were going to go over for the all-drought team, and I was looking up everybody.
So can we go, instead of picking like a whole front four and all the linebackers, can we just decide on one per position? So like of the linebacker group, one. Of the receiver group, one. Of the running backs, one.
We're filling a team, dude.
We're doing all 22?
We're doing all... yeah, our version of all 22.
Jesus. All right, let's go.
But I'll read them off for you.
Right,
there's not many. There's certain positions that have a lot, and there's certain positions that don't.
Yeah.
Okay, quarterback.
Drew Bledsoe.
Can I read them?
No, all right.
All right. Because the fans are going to go down nostalgia lane with us.
Hold on. Do we have enough time to go through all the quarterbacks the Bills have had since the drought? They started four this year.
I only did the ones that... If you're going to be on the all-team, I'm not naming J.P. Lossman, Trent Edwards, Brian Brom, Tyler Thigpen.
If Jabron Hampton comes out of your mouth, so help me God.
I know you have a man crush on him, so I would never...
The greatest quarterback that never was.
Yes. Besides Shane Falco. So, the four that I listed were Flutie, Bledsoe, Fitzpatrick, and Taylor.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, those are the four that, if you have to pick the best out of them, I can't pick this because you know how partial I am to Drew Bledsoe. I'm a very big fan.
But honestly, Bledsoe was probably the best out of the group. To be honest,
talent-wise, yeah, because his first year he came in, I think he broke like 12 or 14 of Kelly's records, single season records and stuff like that. So we're gonna go, but we're picking a team now.
Yeah.
So who's the backup, Flutie? Fitz, Taylor, and Flutie. Who's the backup?
I know people love Doug Flutie. I get it. For the era, it was exciting to have a quarterback who was a playmaker, right?
Yes.
But Flutie struggled to do the routine things, right? Fitz didn't, right? Taylor struggled to do the routine things. Fitz really didn't. Fitz got himself into trouble because he was always trying to make something out of literally nothing. So to me, Bledsoe's the quarterback to have, and Fitz is the backup. Taylor is exciting. Flutie is exciting, but again, I struggled with them. I struggle with that era for both.
I think if you have Fitz, you're not having a quarterback controversy.
No.
If you have Fitz. But if you have Flutie, everyone's going to be clamoring.
He had his
for
own
Flutie.
cereal, for crying out loud. Do you still have a box of Flutie Flakes?
I do not. I never
If you have
had
a box of Flutie Flakes, make sure you either leave a thumbs up or a comment, because I know I have an unopened box of Flutie Flakes. I'm waiting for it to grow legs one of these days. Yeah, exactly. But
It'll be taller than Flutie if it grows legs.
But how many people actually own a box of Flutie Flakes? Like, oh, I'm going to hold on to these.
I'm sure there's people. I'm sure there's people that have TOs.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know. They might have burned them. Okay, so we got the quarterback position figured out.
It wasn't popcorn flavored cereal. If it were popcorn flavored cereal, sales would have gone through the roof.
Oh, God. How do you put milk on that at all? Good Lord. All right, running backs. All running back team. I got a few here, okay? It's a pretty good list, actually. Antoine Smith, Travis Henry, Willis McGahee, Marshawn Lynch, Fred Jackson, C.J. Spiller, and LaShawn McCoy.
Okay, so, question.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Antoine Smith has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Not with the Bills, though.
Okay, all right. So I'm just making sure that we're keeping this all while they were on the Bills and not...
No, but he played during the drought.
He did, yeah. No. I'm just saying that Antoine Smith is the most decorated of those players. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
True. Well, Marshawn's got 1. So
Travis Henry has a couple handcuffs.
You got to do that when I'm drinking all the time.
I have a couple scary Travis Henry stories.
Do we?
I do.
I mean, shall we?
No. Listen, I don't feel like testing out that LLC that we signed to keep our personal items away from our professional items. So
I didn't keep you around because you were stupid.
No defamation lawsuits. None today. Not close to Christmas, at least. That's like a January thing. Once you clear the new year.
So who's your starting running back out of that group?
Oh man, I loved McGahee in college, but he just wasn't the same player when he came to the Bills. I loved
his knee got
at the
imploded.
time. And truthfully, the technology then isn't the technology now.
Oh yeah,
you
true,
know?
very true.
So, had McGahee happened in the last 3 or 4 years, I think he would have been the explosive player that he was in college, because him and Reggie Bush I put on the same level. Reggie Bush was just an animal.
I didn't even name him.
Reggie Bush, the only career player in the NFL with negative rushing yards on the season.
Yeah, I knew there was a reason I didn't.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason.
You want to talk about pure talent?
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
Crazy.
Well, and he has a Super Bowl ring.
He does have a Super Bowl ring.
One as well. All right.
I don't know. Who do you think?
I picked the team. So I had them 3 deep. I had McCoy, Lynch, and McGahee. Or no, McCoy, Lynch, and Jackson. Actually.
But we had that. We literally had that.
We didn't have McCoy. We had Spiller, Lynch, and Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
In 2010, we had Spiller, Lynch, and Jackson.
That's right.
And Lynch, that's when we traded him away.
Yeah.
And then he did the Beastquake against the Saints that same year in the playoffs.
See, I wouldn't take Lynch. He was too frustrating as a Bill. Like, he didn't understand that he was a north-south runner when he got to the NFL. He didn't get that. So I wouldn't take Lynch. I would take Travis Henry.
I like it just for a change of pace back.
And Travis Henry wouldn't be that?
Travis Henry,
He was a bull.
He was, but he had more lateral. Let's say he had more lateral movement than.
I want to say, the player that was Antoine Smith was exciting, but he really wasn't. Like, he just really wasn't.
Henry was about as productive as Antonio Cromartie.
On and off the field? Is that where we're going?
Zing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would take Fred Jackson again in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
If you were telling me in the first round of the draft next year, somebody said that's Fred Jackson 2.0, I'd draft him. He was great at everything.
From Cole College.
He picked up the blitz well. You never had to worry about him in a negative yardage situation. Like, he just wasn't a negative yardage guy.
No.
Like, he just pounded, he fell forward, he got those extra yards. Like, he was everything you could ever ask from an NFL back.
I think a lot of those players that we're going to select, and I think a lot of players that maybe the fans would choose, are ones that endear themselves to the community that they're in. And Fred Jackson was blue collar.
Oh, 100%.
Through and through.
100%.
So he embodied a lot of the things I think that's why a lot of people still love Flutie in that sense. Where
yeah.
It's an underdog town.
Yeah.
So you root for the underdog. So
yeah, I mean, I still would take McCoy I would take Fred Jackson. And I disagree with you on Marshawn Lynch. I wouldn't take Lynch. Because if we're only looking at their time in Buffalo, he didn't understand the type of player he was. He got it when he went to Seattle.
Okay.
So I would take Travis Henry over that. Travis Henry was just more sure of himself as a player in his time in Buffalo.
It's quite all right.
Didn't he Travis Henry break his freaking leg and still play?
Yeah, because they drafted Lynch. And he's like, no, this is my job.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I like it. I like it. I'm a fan. All right, wide receiver core. Got a few names on this list.
This is a scary list.
All right, now, not in any particular order. Okay. We got Peerless Price, Eric Moulds, Josh Reed, Roscoe Parrish, T.O., Lee Evans, Stevie Johnson, T.J. Graham, Marquise Goodwin, Robert Woods, Sammy Watkins, and Percy Harvin, and Chris Hogan.
Okay, first off, give me that. Roscoe Parrish, T.J. Graham.
Yeah.
Are you high?
Just to let you know the caliber of wide receivers we've had in Buffalo. Just want to be sure. A couple of these guys, they got off the streets. T.O., no one signed him. We don't get him. Harvin was...
Didn't we sign T.O. after his arena football appearance? Was that before or after the Arena League?
I can't remember.
I'm sure somebody
I'm
will
sure
know
it
out
was.
there.
Probably.
I'm sure one of you guys will know this. I'm not gonna waste the search on Google. God forbid, the algorithm starts thinking I like arena football.
Yeah, you end up getting
one of you guys can let us know whether T.O. was before or after the arena
couple
football.
Jersey shop players.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't need that. Let's see here.
I mean, because we got guys on this list that peaked prior to Buffalo and guys that peaked after Buffalo.
Right.
So it's hard to get this list.
You know what? I think Robert Woods would have been classified as one of the most dangerous receivers in the NFL because of the full package that he brought, but he just had such bad quarterback play. Like, it was just so tragic, the quarterback play that he had. Because look at his production when he was in college. As soon as he left, Marquise Lee was supposed to be, Marquise Lee, top 10 pick when his junior year, when he was playing with Woods. And then Woods leaves and Marquise Lee's a ghost.
Yep.
Because Woods was the man. He does everything well. Runs block, he run blocks really well. He fights with that dirty yardage. He just does everything well. He reminds me a lot of Marvin Harrison in that respect. He's a better run blocker than Marvin Harrison, but not flashy. Just literally does it all. But the quarterback play was so bad.
I don't give him... Yeah, the quarterback play was horrible. I don't give him Marvin Harrison because I don't think he had the explosiveness of Harrison. But, I mean, I've lived and died on many hills in Buffalo. And the one that I died on horribly was I thought that Doug Whaley drafted E.J. Manuel because he thought he was the next Ben Roethlisberger. Yeah. I've died on that hill before.
Oh, yeah.
But no.
You set up a tent on that hill.
The only reason I say that, to give you that, that comparison, is because when they drafted Woods, I said, this is Hines Ward.
Yeah, and he did profile like
he's
that.
a run blocking, nasty, dirty, will run the short routes and do all the things that you need to do. And, I mean, he got kicked out of a couple games for throwing punches. Mm-hmm. He was just a guy that was a grinder. And you come from USC, you're going to be a crisp route runner as well. You're right. He didn't have anybody to throw him the ball, but I was a big fan of Woods. I was a big fan of Woods.
Huge.
But he just didn't manifest. I had my four. I picked four wide.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
All right. I had Watkins, Woods, Moulds, and Owens.
Watkins. You realize that you have to be able to play games to be considered on the All-Drought team. Are you serious?
That's why I picked
You picked
four,
Watkins?
That's why I picked four wide receivers. You think I'm going a lot of three wide sets?
No way. You realize the number of subscribers we just lost because you picked Sammy Watkins over Stevie Johnson. You realize that.
That's
I would take Stevie in a heartbeat over Watkins. Stevie in a heartbeat over
For
Watkins.
the same reasons you won't take Lynch, I'm not taking Stevie.
What did Stevie do after he left? Nothing.
What did he do when he was here?
He was the one bullet in the gun. I mean, if we're looking at developing a wide receiver core, I think, unfortunately, I can't disagree with you with Moulds. I loved Eric Moulds when he was here.
Yep.
We probably need a speed receiver. So Lee Evans is probably the guy to get and not Stevie. Because Stevie tried to stretch the field, but Evans was just simply better at it. So if we're looking at building an actual all-drought team, I think if you're looking at those four, I think if you're deciding between Watkins, Stevie, and Evans, when your other three receivers are T.O., Moulds, and Woods, you got to have somebody that stretches the field a little bit more. So I think Evans is probably the guy to take.
Okay. I mean, I had Watkins because he could stretch the field for me, and then I got Molds and T.O. running underneath. And then, if you want, you got Wood. I'm going to run the ball. I want Woods. I'm going to run the ball.
I'm not disagreeing with Woods. I'm saying Sammy Watkins is a terrible pick.
You would take Stevie Johnson as a blocker over T.O.?
No, I'm saying for the last wide receiver spot. What would I want?
Okay.
If it's between Watkins, Evans, and Johnson, Watkins is last on that list.
Okay. Like I said, it's going to get a little muddled. It is decided. I hate you. So, all right, tight end. Here's your choices. You ready?
Yeah.
Jay Reamersma,
Uh-huh.
Robert Royal,
Yeah.
Sean Nelson, Scott Chandler, and Charles Clay.
We have to pick two, right?
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't want to pick one.
I know. Well, Clay isn't it.
I like Chandler.
I did like Scott Chandler.
And Reamersma was there forever for the drought.
He was. Yeah, I would take Chandler again. I would have no problem taking Scott Chandler. I'd take Chandler.
If we did have to pick two, would you just basically on talent-wise, would you pick Clay as well or no?
No. I'm not taking Charles Clay.
Okay.
Don't want to have anything to do with Charles Clay. Okay?
Because for the same reason, I mean, we picked Woods because of the player he could have been with good quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
You think with good quarterback play, Clay would have been a little bit better?
Well, no.
No? Okay. That's fine.
I don't believe that. We signed Charles Clay to the contract we signed him to because we knew Miami couldn't count him. That's it. Like, the contract he got was solely written around sticking it to the Dolphins.
Yeah, because they just signed Sue.
Right.
Yeah, and they couldn't pay him.
Yeah, they couldn't pay him. So we did that primarily fueled just by spite. So I wouldn't take Charles Clay.
Yeah, you think you're adding a quality player and taking one away from a division rival. That's like
Right.
a 2-for-1. So
Right.
That's what they did. And it just didn't work
So
out.
you would take Chandler and let me guess.
I was just asking.
Let me guess who you're going to take. Chandler and
Reamersma.
Nelson. Oh, you take Reamersma?
Yeah, I'm taking Reamersma.
Okay, I agree with you
I just
there.
remember how good he was in the run blocking.
Yeah.
Reamersma was like an extra tackle out there.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Yeah, if you're... I mean, I guess I'm guessing for everybody else, but, I mean, I would take Scott Chandler again in a heartbeat. He was massive, man.
He's big. What was he, 6'7", 6'8",
Yeah,
something like that?
huge. And it's hard to find athletes like that at the tight end position. Like, normally guys that are 6'7", 6'8", they're like, you need to eat some hot dogs, fatty. You got to gain some weight. You got to play tackle.
You gotta play tackle.
Yeah, it's not often you find a guy who's 6'7", 6'8", running routes. Like, they get developed into offensive linemen when they start showing
too
size.
goofy running around,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't anybody ever hand you a basketball?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Right.
Now, for the cream of the offensive crop.
We had some good offensive line.
We did. And some that are still playing.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to say Eric Wood, right out of the bag. We're going to start with center. There's no reason to even talk about anybody at the center position besides Eric Wood.
You don't like Trey Teague?
No.
I'm just saying.
Eric Wood. He's clearly
I had to list them because,
Okay.
you know, there's going to be some people out there that don't, you know. The linemen that we have assembled for the All-Drought team, if all were, like, playing today, right now on the Bills line, I don't think there would be a problem at all, ever.
Sorry. So I'm a bad co-pilot.
No,
I left my ringer on.
Now I'll let you decide where they go.
Okay.
Because they were flip-flopped sometimes.
Well, yeah, because we're going to pick two left tackles in all likelihood. So I get it. Sure.
Yeah. So starting from left to right, here's how I had it. Okay. Your left tackle is Jason Peters.
Remember when we got rid of Jason Peters because we said he was too old?
Yeah,
a decade ago.
Went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's still playing.
Yes. So,
did you know Jason Peters? Do you remember this story? Jason Peters won a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
Yeah, because he was on a rascal or a scooter.
Yeah, he was on a knee scooter and it broke, and he got further injured when the knee scooter broke after he tore his ACL. He had to have his ACL reconstructed. So he was using a knee scooter. Well, of course the knee scooter broke. He's like 360 pounds. Like, those things aren't tested for that. If you need a knee scooter to hold 360 pounds, you're not calling, American Medical Supply. You're calling NASA. Because that's what you need. So you won a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against that scooter company.
It didn't say a weight requirement on it.
Nope.
It's kind of one of those things they're kind of given there, Jay. I'm just kind of curious. All right, so we got Jason Peters on the left. My left guard, Ruben Brown.
Loved Ruben Brown.
Ruben Brown is my left tackle, or is my left guard. Wood's my center. My right guard, Andy Levitri.
Really?
Yep.
He was so overrated. Andy Levitri was so overrated.
You can't play in the pros this long and be overrated.
Yeah, you can be. Yeah, you can be.
Come on.
No.
Who would you put?
You're gonna hate me for this.
Oh God.
Incognito. He was a better player. He was a better player.
I will fight you on this.
Better player.
I will fight. Levitri
Crazy.
versus Incognito.
Listen, we're not. This is excluding all personalities. This is a dream team scenario.
Oh,
I would
excluding.
take
Then why'd you mention it about Stevie Johnson and all those other guys?
That's what I'm saying. Dream scenario. I'd take Incognito over.
You really
over
want to put?
Levitri.
I'm just making sure. I'm just curious. You want to put Stevie Johnson, T.O., Incognito, Henry,
Yeah.
in the same room?
Yeah. Yeah, that way when they make another remake of The Longest Yard, the team's already assembled.
I think I broke his freaking neck. I think I did.
Yeah, that's...
But then I had Cordy Glenn at right tackle.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Let me see this list of tackles and guards. Okay, so we had Cordy Glenn, yeah. Eric Pierce, Jason Peters, yeah. Walker? Who's that?
I have no idea. I wrote it down. I can't remember. I was just going through the starters.
And then
Mike Williams.
Yeah, no. Okay, so we picked the best ones there. Cordy Glenn and Jason Peters are your tackles.
Yep.
For guards, Incognito, Craig Urbick. You know, I was super disappointed with Urbick.
I was. He was another one of those Whaley guys from Pittsburgh that he brought over.
Well, remember when we talked about Eric Pierce moving to tackle? We're like, oh, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea. It didn't work out so well.
No, Pierce moving down to guard. We love that.
Yeah.
I listed him as a guard, didn't I?
No, you listed Eric Pierce as a tackle.
Oh, yeah, he moved down to guard for like 3 games, and then they got rid of him.
Derek Dockery, or was it Derek or Daryl Dockery?
No.
As Dockery. Remember all that money we spent to get him?
Mm-hmm.
Mike Gandy? Man, some of this is nightmare fuel. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Incognito, Ruben Brown, and Andy Levitri are the best 3 out of all these. And I think we disagree a little bit. I would take Incognito over Levitri.
That's fine. That's fine. That's entitled to your opinion. We got different squads offensively.
I'd still take that line, like, now.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, I'd take that line right now.
Incognito, though. I can't do it.
You can't do it?
I can't do it because then I'd be looking for another guard every offseason.
Yeah. As I said, this is not about personality assemblage. This is all about, you know...
They got a mesh, damn it!
Let's review the offense, shall we?
Okay.
So we got...
Calling the signal, we got Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
Our starting 5 linemen, we had Peters, Incognito, Wood, Brown, and Glenn.
Yep.
On the outside, we got T.O., Molds, and Woods. In the backfield, we have Travis Henry, we have Fred Jackson, and we have LaShawn McCoy.
Yep.
And our tight ends are going to be Jay Reimers and Scott Chandler.
Yep.
That is your Bills All-Drought team.
Man, we've had some terrible tight ends on this team.
Yeah, I think that team goes 11-5 if you put them all together in their prime today.
Oh yeah,
That team was 11-5.
but I mean, you're talking in their prime. Bledsoe came post prime, but he's still, unfortunately, the best quarterback this team has had since the drought, in my opinion.
During the
In my
drought.
opinion, yeah, during the drought.
So.
Yeah, in my opinion. That's a pretty scary team, though.
It's a scary offense, yes.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I mean, let's not forget that we also have Lee Evans as the 4th receiver. You have Fitz as the backup QB. What? Are you giving me nonsense over the Lee Evans thing?
Fitz could win 9 games with that offense.
Yeah, sure can. Bledsoe's old ass could too. So.
Oh, you shut your mouth. He's making wine up in Washington.